Somehow I was trying to show Eric like this is his stream to start with. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Let me know how the audio is doing in the comments in the chat, and make sure everything is good to go. If you have a problem with our audio, let us know. We'll try to fix it on the fly. But welcome to our live stream. Myself, Eric, and Adam. You already know these guys. If you don't, of course, I'm having them linked up down in the description. Adam from Adam Delay on YouTube, and Eric from East Texas Homestead. And today we're going to be talking about basically budget systems for emergencies that you can be able to power different things in your house. You know, whether that be some lights, a refrigerator, you know, all the way up to your whole house if that's what you want to do. But we're going to be able to start out probably around $100 and up. So, you know, there's a lot of different options out there that people may not know about. But let's go ahead and say hello to everybody in the comments, and then we'll bring on Eric and Adam to see what's going on with them real quick. All right, let's see. We already got 24 people in here. TJ, Brian, Jim, Awesome Good Diver, TJ, John. Let's see. Retro Machine, Jose, Off Grid Wannabe. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anybody in the comments. Keep going up. Let's see. I think that might be everybody in the comments so far. All right, Eric and Adam. Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Keeping busy, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. So I might as well let it go ahead and start with you guys. You know, what is something on the cheap that you would start with, bare bones? You know, if you wanted to power like some lights or maybe a refrigerator or something like that.
Adam, let you take it, man.
All right. Well, usually I don't like to go through and share stuff that I don't have firsthand experience with, because I don't know exactly how is it going to work. I mean, obviously you can go to Walmart, Sam's Club, whatever, and buy the $20 inverter. I mean, I'm sure Rodney and Eric, we're all about the same age. We kind of grew up when cars didn't have the built-in AC outlets in them. So you had to bring, when you went on family vacations, the little chintzy inverter and,
Man, I
you know,
still
the
do that.
VHS
Yeah.
tapes to watch stuff. No, you didn't have to do any of that.
No, I did. I said I still have to do that. I got a 25-year-old truck, man.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I mean, so yeah, when I was growing up, you had to have those little cheap junk things for inverters just to power one device, two devices. And so I would probably end up looking at, and I've used it in my portable power station, but one of the Giandel inverters. You can get them from 300 to like 4,000 watts, but they have one that has a built-in MPPT. So you can snag some cheap solar panels, grab a battery out of your tractor. I mean, really, if you had to in an emergency, or even pull it out of your car.
Pretty slick, man. I didn't know they made one with the built-in MPPT.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that either.
So, and for those who don't know, because we are talking about a beginner, or we're trying to talk to a beginner crowd, not saying that you guys in the chat or watching right now are beginners, but just to make sure everybody's following, the MPPT is the part that's going to allow you to take your solar panels and plug them directly in and charge your batteries. So having the ability to hook one cable up to your batteries, or well, two, positive and negative, and have a single unit both charge your battery from solar and allow you to discharge at AC is pretty cool. And that's what you're saying, right, Adam?
Yeah, so let me see if I can pull this thing up here.
I'm trying to find my invite to show you guys. Hopefully.
Screen share.
All right, you want me to make it bigger?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me switch over from Eric.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Oh, he's killing us.
You're gonna crash the Matrix.
Yeah, that's you.
How's that me?
Change to a different tab.
Yeah,
Oh
different
my
tab.
goodness. I'm looking at a different tab. You guys aren't seeing what I'm looking at.
Oh no.
He's froze. Wait a minute. Let's
There.
go back here. Okay, there we go. I'll go back to full screen. There you go.
Nice.
All right. Am I killing anybody right now?
Now you're good. And also, links will be available either, I guess, after the stream, or maybe they're even there presently. I don't know.
There are
But
some links, but not all of them, so we'll have to get the rest of them. Adam will go ahead and put this up there once he's done.
Yeah, and I can take this and drop this into the chat too. But this it's a 2200 watt inverter, 12 volt, and on the front it has connections for a solar charge controller, so that you can take a cheap solar panel, connect this up, and use it off of a 12 volt battery to recharge. And you've got a couple outlets, throw a surge protector on it if you want to, but you could power a fridge, you could power a set of lights, get you through an outage, and then cross your fingers. As long as the sun comes up the next day, you could recharge that battery. And I know Rodney's going to have some other panels. I've used these Renogy ones. 100 watters. The best thing that I love about these, and they've got different options as you can see down below. But the best thing that I love about these is the fact that you can get them to your door usually within a day or two. You don't have to worry about all that extra freight cost for the larger panels that you're stuck dealing with, or having to buy in bulk with 10 panels or more.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Because
How do
that
these
was the
compare
thing
with
that
the Harbor
killed me
Freight
at the
ones?
beginning.
Yeah, and like you said, there's other options, but I got a Renogy panel. That's probably one of the first panels I ever had. And like you said, you can get it shipped right to your door. That's definitely what people want. And I mean, I'll just go ahead and pull up and show you what, you know, my thoughts were. And
Yep, go
I
ahead.
was looking at the Best
Yeah.
Tech 500 watt inverter. And basically, for people that don't know, an inverter is just going to take your DC power and make it into AC power that you can use for your residential appliances. Basically, either that be a light or a refrigerator if it's big enough. This 500 watt one, it would run some lights and charge some stuff back, but it's not going to run. I can't speak. It's not going to run your refrigerator. But we have another option for that, which is this 1,000 watt one, and these are all pure sine wave. So, you know, it's going to be able to run a refrigerator, any kind of electronics, and it's not going to mess it up. And if you're going to get one of these, to me, you want to get one that's a pure sine wave. So I don't know if he already said that, but you know, these are linked up down in the description, of course, around $100 mark. So definitely not bad. And this 1,000 watt one, it will run most refrigerators. I mean, I don't know what your refrigerator looks like, so not 100% sure that it'll run everybody's, but it'll run mine for sure. The 500 watt won't, because I tried it and it just won't do it. When a compressor kicks on, it kicks it out. I guess it's just too much surge. That 1,000 watt one, you should be able to cover your surge, and you connect that up to your car battery, and maybe every 30 minutes you go start your car or whatever. And during an emergency, for a few hours, just to keep your refrigerator cold a few hours a day, it's definitely going to work for you. Or to run some lights. And if you're really big time, and like you said, you can go buy a solar panel and a charger, and hey, you can charge the battery back that way. So it just depends on what you want to do. But starting on a budget, you know, that's one of the first things that I personally did is I went and got an inverter that I could hook to my car battery. So,
Yep.
Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I tell everybody. It's the very first thing to do is get yourself just a decent, but relatively inexpensive. I think I paid $80 for this back in 2014. Still going. I don't believe this one is pure sine wave, but man, in fact, I'll share my screen here for just a second. Let me jump over to that. And actually, before I do that, let me adjust some windows. There we go. All right. Also, I'm going to make a shameless plug here. I just rebuilt the website. So if anyone is interested, you can jump over to easttexashomestead.com. I'm going to start building this thing out. It's my story. There's my family, beautiful wife, my 4 boys. But what I want to show you is...
And I have that linked
put it
up down
into...
in the description for anybody that's interested.
Awesome. If you jump over to blog, you can go back down to the very first one right here. is our budget-friendly DIY solar and battery backup systems. Start small and scale up. So this is what we're talking about today. Built this page out specifically for this call. And basically, we're going to go over, each of us are talking about kind of basically 3 different levels. So I've got them broken down with some hyperlinks here. Here's a video where I talk about utilizing this little guy just to, that I just showed you a second ago, that Cobra inverter to power your refrigerator and such. And then we kind of go into the first step. And this was the very first setup I ever built. Hopefully y'all can see that all right. It was 2 just flooded lead acid batteries sitting in a little battery rack or just a simple wire shelf. They're connected together, 12-volt system. There's my inverter, and there is the little Schumacher battery charger from Walmart. So everything you see here could basically be purchased at Walmart. And so you can start there if you need to, which is a really great thing. And I see this, this is just one of the coolest ways to get your feet wet in building battery systems. This didn't power, my entire homes, or didn't power my home like the system I've got behind me or these guys have got. But what it did do is allowed us on some hot nights to run some fans when the power went out. Like Rodney said, we could go ahead and keep our refrigerator running. Another thing, if you don't have a battery charger like this, you can just hook some jumper cables up to it from your car and idle it that way. I mean, you can get creative and do some things that might not be the best for your vehicle long term, but in a pinch, it's a great system. So definitely go through here. I've got kind of like some Amazon options. I've got a 1,000-watt Renogy inverter. And then this, is that lead time? Is that how they say it? The battery, it's got great reviews. All of these are basically the best reviewed products for what we're looking at. And then all of these, of course, link out. And then I've got a little diagram here, which is kind of cheesy. I just threw it up in Photoshop in a couple of minutes, but it shows you plug this guy into the wall outlet. You take your red goes to red, your black goes to black, your red goes to red, your black goes to black. And then you can, the green is just showing your loads and kind of showing you what you can do with that. And we'll come back to this in a little bit, but for now, that's just kind of a quick introduction. Once again, that's easttexashomestead.com. The links are down below if you want to check that out. You can find all sorts of stuff we've got here and potentially even a membership coming up soon. So stay tuned and we'll talk about that here in a couple weeks probably.
Yeah, that what you were sharing was a little blurry. Some people are saying that in the comments. I don't know. It might be the program or something.
Man.
I'm not sure what's going on with that.
That's my bandwidth.
Okay. So, I was able to kind of tell what it is, but just so you know.
Yeah, bummer. Okay. Yeah, Starlink upload, and I think all of my boys are playing Minecraft right now. So
blame all the kids. Oh no. Yeah. So like Eric said, there's a lot of different options, a lot of different ways to charge a 12-volt battery back and to run stuff off of it. Even if you already have a gas generator, you can take your gas generator and use a charger to charge that 12-volt battery back. And at night, you can have your generator inside your garage locked up, safe, and you can run your lights and stuff off your battery, and you don't have to worry about anybody stealing your generator. So that's just another reason, you can be silent at night. So, there's a lot of reasons to do this, but, I like having power just for lights and refrigerator and keep it food cold. And, hey, nowadays you want to keep the internet going if you can. If you got Starlink like we do, you can keep your internet going. So we'll go ahead and jump into the next stage, I guess. So as you saw, this stage was, in the $100 range, a few $100s, just depending on exactly which thing you wanted to do. And like you said, we're going to have this stuff linked up down in the description when the video is over. And we have some of that stuff down there right now. But let's go ahead and talk about the next, I guess, price level bump up for me, where I would step up to. So I'll go ahead and share my screen real quick. And this right here, to me, is the best deal going on in this price range. For $449, you can get the Anchor Solix C1000. So basically, you're gonna have over a kilowatt of battery power. It's 1,056 watt hours, so a little bit over a kilowatt, and then it'll run 1,800 watts of stuff, or go up to a peak of 2,400. I have the 800 model, and I've ran all kinds of stuff with it. I use that thing all the time. I definitely like Anchor products, and this is something you could have it charged all the time, and during an emergency, you'll be able to use it. And you can charge this thing back from your car or from solar panels. You can go and buy solar panels. Let's just say you bought this at Signature Solar and you wanted solar panels that you didn't have to have freight on. You can get these $49 Grape Solar 100-watt solar panels, or you can find some locally, off of Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, whatever the case may be, Harbor Freight. But Harbor Freight's cheap panels are now like $120 a piece, so their price is actually going up a little bit. So if you buy a few of these, I don't think the shipping's really that bad. I think when I added 4 of them to the cart, the shipping was only $50 for them. So, not terrible if you're already buying the Anchor from Signature Solar. The better price right now is from Amazon. So I have that link down in the description. So if you're interested, hey, of course, go check that out. But Anchor Solix, less than $500. I mean, to me, it can't be beat. And that will definitely keep your refrigerator going, at night. And then you charge the thing back during the day. So, it might not make it through the whole night, but it's going to keep your refrigerator cold.
I think I actually ran a test on the Anchor Solix, and I might even have a video or a short on it. But it ran, I think, an empty fridge from warm room temperature to cooling it down almost a full 24 hours.
Okay. That's
Mhm.
pretty good.
And like Rodney was saying, the Anchor Solix is not even just the Anchor, but I mean, the portable power station arena is kind of like the nice middle ground between that starter system and the full-blown house system, because you can really get your hands on getting used to looking at, well, how much power does different loads take, and how much solar do I need to be able to recharge a certain amount of batteries, input and output. It actually gives you a good um, diving board almost into playing around with a lot of these things, really without having to worry about, well, if I accidentally cross the positive and the negative the wrong way, I'm going to short and fry something out, because it's all nice, tightly packed into one box. And I'm with Rodney, because I had looked at other power stations and seeing the sale that the Anchor Solix is on right now, that was going to be
It,
my pick as well.
yeah, it was pretty funny. We came with our list, separately, and then when we come together, we have some of the same things. So we come on the same page, I guess. But yeah, that Anchor, I've tested out Blue Eddies, All Powers, Opus. I mean, a bunch of them. Not a lot of the big ones, but kind of the small, medium-sized ones. And Anchors have been my favorite because of the features for the price and the build quality, and I just like them. So I guess I'm a fanboy of the Anchor stuff, but this one right here is a good deal right now. Eric, what do you think about the next price range up?
Yeah. So for me, I didn't. Well, I didn't even consider looking at a pre-built one, right? So I was thinking about just like the DIY, like
Yeah.
how to actually take it from here and utilize the skills that we're building upon, so that you end up, putting together something like this to where your energy bill is like $32 a month, without any solar panels. Which I know the video is still coming at some point, right? Um, someday we'll do it. Um, so I'm going to jump back over to sharing my screen. I'm not going to share my face while we're doing that, so y'all won't get to look at this, but you'll just get to look at the screen, and you'll probably be better off. So I'm going to jump over here and share just this.
Up,
There
we're
we go.
back in
All right.
the Matrix.
So, oh man. All right. Is it better now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. All right. How's the quality? Is it any better now that we're not trying to push the
It
video?
looks better to me.
Okay,
Looks a
cool.
little bit better.
All
Still
right.
kind of
So,
blurry, but
man, I don't know what the deal is. I got to fix this. Anyhow, so this is the system we were just discussing here. Also, I put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to follow along and actually be able to see it. But scaling up to level 2, it's basically the same thing, but we're at a couple of different pieces here. So we've got our batteries, we've got our inverters, and we've got our charger. But we're going to add the it's like an MPPT, right? It's a charge controller, but it's the PWM, specifically for 12 volts. That gets a little complicated, but just this is what we're doing here. Um, 12 volt batteries, 12 volt charge controllers, 12 volt solar panels. If you stick with all of that, you're going to be good. So here's my fantastic Photoshop work here. It looks very similar to the first one, except we're basically adding more batteries. And at this point, you just add as many batteries as you can afford, right? Um, uh, I don't think I would ever take this system right here past probably 4 batteries. I would be looking at getting a 48 volt system and going up to something a bit more substantial, which we'll talk about on the phase 3. But if you're looking at just having some stuff that you can, put together like this, and then it's like, hey, I need to borrow 2 of those to go out on the boat and use for my trolling motor or whatever it is, or throw another one in the RV. Um, having a system that can be taken apart and used for different things is kind of cool. So basically, you've got your solar panels that connect to your charge controller that then charges your batteries, and then from the grid, you've got the same thing. And the way that I like to set these up is you've always got it plugged in, and you can run a few items off of it as basically a UPS, and then as the power goes out, then you've got that system ready to go. So that's pretty much it on that one. But that's the way I like to think about it. And then of course, as I mentioned, I've got all these products linked up. So if you just click on any of these, you can go straight to those products on Amazon or wherever else they take you.
Oh yeah, so we definitely appreciate all that work that Eric put in, because it doesn't matter how he says he threw that together. We all know that was a lot of work putting all that together on his website.
Oh
So
yeah.
I definitely appreciate it, because I'm definitely gonna go. I already started reading it, but I've got to go finish reading all of that. That's pretty interesting for sure. And I know a lot of times we'll start talking to each other and we kind of forget about the people in the comments. So if you have questions, put a Q in front of it, and we'll try to come and bring up the questions. So let's go ahead and bring up one right now. Dime Bag Coin says, anyone hands on to the 12,000 XP? I got one right behind me here. And I mean, we did a few videos on it, and there's some other people that's got a few videos. I think Gavin maybe put one out, and man, who else? I can't even remember. There's a few out now on the full installs.
Eric from Country Living Experience put one
Yeah,
out this morning.
yeah. And man, there was another one that I saw. Who was it? I
Evan
can't remember.
from Country Solar. It's a newer channel.
DIY. Yeah, yeah. He's got 2 channels. Yeah, his smaller
Yeah,
channel. Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
yeah. I know his name's Evan. I just can't, and I can see the picture on his page, but I just can't remember what it is.
Yep. So if anybody else has got any questions, like I said, put a Q in front of it, and we're definitely gonna try to get to some questions if you have any, especially as we get to the bigger systems, because that's what a lot of times people that's already watching this channel, that's what they're interested in. But we wanted to start out with some easier things and less expensive for people that just can't afford that stuff right now, because we know, hey, times are tough. So, everybody can't start out with a full on system. A lot of us, we started out, like you saw the pictures, we started out with a battery, a little inverter hooked to it, and now, you got full home systems. So you just start out where you can, save your money, buy the next thing, then get the next thing, and just add on until you are able to cover all the needs that you're worried about. So,
And if you have the ability to buy a smaller component that you can use in a larger system, do that, because you'll save yourself some money in the long run.
I'm over here reading the comments. Sorry. All right. So we're gonna go and jump into the, I guess, the next phase, which is to me gonna be. I have really two for this phase, so it's just depending on what kind of option you want to go to. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen and go ahead and show you what I'm thinking. So let me go ahead. I don't know why this bar wants to go across the bottom. All right, and as you can see right here, this setup right here is $2,774. So it's getting a little more significant cost wise. But what you get out of this is you have 10 solar panels, and so you're gonna have about 3,750 watts of solar panels. You got one 3,000 watt, 120 volt inverter. It's gonna be taking in 5,000 watts of solar, so you're gonna be good with that. And then you're gonna have one 5 kilowatt hour battery and your PV cable, and that's basically all you're gonna need. Besides stuff you're gonna have to get from your local hardware store to hook up either a generator cable straight from this into a generator inlet for your house to be able to run a few things, and then you'll be able to charge back during the day with your solar panels. So this is more on the lines of kind of a full system, but on a very small scale. And while you could upgrade from this to me, I would only recommend for somebody that didn't plan on trying to run their entire house ever, but it just wanted some backup power that was a little more serious. And then you could always charge that battery back from a generator as well. And so if you're interested in that, I have all that stuff linked up down in the description, or if you got any questions. And then the second thing in this phase for me, what I would do is if I did have a generator and I didn't want to put up a bunch of panels, I would get this little 6,000 XP bundle. So you get the Power Pro a battery that's about 14 kilowatts. You get the conduit box and the inverter all in one, and that's going to be about $4,796. So like I said, this is a little more significant, but everybody has a different price range. This will be a budget option for some people, while $100 is budget for somebody else. So it just depends on, your funds at the time and what you think is budget. So this is more on the lines of if you want to build a full system out one day, but you want to start small, get the one 6,000 XP and a battery, and you can charge this thing back from a generator if you already have it. And during an emergency at night, you should be able to run your whole house, like a refrigerator and your lights and your TV and stuff like that, with 14 kilowatts. You're not gonna be able to run your air conditioner or your heat or anything like that, but just your very basics. 14 kilowatts is going to get you a long way, and then the next day just charge it back with a generator. And if you say, hey, I can spend a little more, you could always just add in your solar panels. Okay, I'm not trying to just show Eric, trying to show us off. So that would be my next phase, is one of those two options. Either
Yeah.
one where you're gonna upgrade more, or one where you just want a little better backup, but you're never gonna upgrade it. So it just depends on the option that somebody's looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see this. I don't know. I still see all of these kind of in this phase of I'm not trying to generate power, to run everything. This is purely an emergency backup system. Like that's my mindset on it. But
Yep.
if you can add panels, that's always a great option. Go that route. But any of these options that we're discussing can be used for emergencies without panels. And I know some people live in an HOA where they can't, put a panel up anywhere, or they just don't have the space, or they live in an apartment. But this is the kind of stuff that you could set up. Even these larger systems, not really that 6,000 XP one, but if you're in an apartment somewhere, I'm sure most of you guys have seen even those little 3,000 watt inverters with a server rack battery stuck on a hand truck or a dolly. It's super simple to set up. You can do it in about 45 minutes if have it planned out. These are really cool, simple ways to do it. Like Rodney, I ended up. And actually, I think I figured out my issue. So I've got my computer trying to add like the portrait studio and bokeh effect or whatever in the background, and then something. Actually, that's not even all of it, because I'm still got a blur. There's, I guess maybe it's Ecamm Live trying to blur the background. When I
It
go
looks
to
like it
share
just
my.
cleared up to me just now.
All right, so I don't know, but I'm going to see if I can jump over, since I've taken those things off, and let's see. I'm going to go over to. I'm not going to break the matrix this time, so bear with me. share here. Is it clear that?
It's blurry to
No.
me.
Please tell me maybe. Oh my gosh, what is the deal?
I
Ah,
don't know. It's very blurry
it's
this time.
crystal
Yeah,
clear on my
it's
end.
worse than last time.
Seriously,
Your
that's
picture
so
when your
crazy.
camera's
Well,
up
dang it.
is clear, but the
Yeah.
for whatever reason the screen share is very blurry.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That's weird.
Well,
Do you have a blur on
well,
your
dang it.
screen share in Ecamm?
There might be. I don't know. It doesn't matter though if y'all can't see it. Anyway, I'm gonna say just scroll down to the bottom. I have the exact same thing. It's basically the kit from EG4. It is it's at 3,000 watts inverter and two of the server rack batteries and a couple of the components with it and a blue bus bar there. So hey, um, that's pretty much it. So but yeah, that's a great place to keep going. And I'm so thrown off with this thing not working. But all right, that's it. I'm going to go back over to share full screen.
Yeah, and it's not just us seeing it blurry. Everybody else is seeing it blurry. So it's not just
Dang it!
something going on with our stuff. I
Ah,
don't know what's up with it. But we'll look through the comments real quick to see
oh,
if anybody's got anything for us. Let's go ahead and say what's going on to everybody that we have missed. Jasper, let's see here. If I messed your name up, I am definitely sorry. I am terrible with names. I'm scrolling through here. Real eyes, real eyes, real lies. Let's see who else we got on here. Betty, hey, what's going on? Jim, Bebop. Uh, man, I can't see that. Kilrick 705, Dan. Who else we got on here? I think everybody else is commenting. We've already got them. We already said hello, Nick. Let's see, anybody else? That's probably about it there. If I missed anybody, hey, just comment again. We'll try to come back and get you. If I missed you, Extreme Window Tinting, hey, what's going on? And we'll go ahead and let Adam discuss his next phase.
Well, you guys kind of both stole my thunder there. Um,
Everybody's following
well,
in the same thing.
because
we
well,
didn't consult on it. It's
when you're
just
in this market,
it's a,
you tend to see um, a lot of these different budget systems, and you're really going to end up listening to how what people's experience ends up being with them. And the people that I've heard that have had the EG4 3000 love the little thing. It's a little powerhouse. I mean, it's not something that you're going to be looking to, like the other guy said, you're not going to use it to try and power your entire house. But you really could do an extended outage with
mhm.
that 3000 watt inverter. I mean, comfortably. Got
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
internet, you got your fridge, you got your
What,
TV.
like you said, what would the people in Western North Carolina that their house survived do right now? You know, if they've been out of power for months, if they had that EG4 3000 with 10 solar panels and one battery, what could you do
Hmm.
with that when you didn't have any power at all? I mean, it'd be game changing. I mean,
Yeah.
you could help other
Well,
people. You could charge stuff. You could, charge stuff for other people. Have some light.
yeah, and another thing on top of that is communications are so important. In fact, I'm in communications with the communications. No. So I'm actually talking to a local ham radio group. They're gonna have me come out and do a little class, and we're gonna set up basically a system very similar to this. We're probably gonna step up to the 6,000 XP if possible, but if not, the 3,000, and we're gonna put together a setup so that the repeater can stay online. There you go, right there. And because there've been quite a few storms that have come through, and a couple times I'm like, where'd the repeater go? Like the guys
Hmm.
just it just disappears. It's like, well, all right. So if those guys up in your neck of the woods, Rodney, over the last month or so had all those repeaters up, they would have been able to communicate a lot better. But
Yeah.
they're down, so that's a big
Yeah,
deal.
those right there are
So
GMRS radios. So, you do have to get a license for it, but then I can just
Hmm.
give them to my whole family and they can all use it and I have a ham license as well. But everybody, of course, can't use that unless it's an emergency. Of course, you could use it, but I mean, yeah, communication is very important, and I definitely want to be able to do it during an emergency because we've had a few bad hurricanes here when the power's been out for a while and roads are closed, and I could barely get home from work. So if the cell phone towers went down, I would definitely like to have a way to communicate with my family at least. So especially if I'm relatively close. So yeah, definitely something to think about after the stuff that's happened here recently.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. General class right here. Haven't
Oh,
used it much,
so
but I still have it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't use it much either, but all right, looks like we might be live again. And let's see here. Let me know if you can see me again. The famous quote, did you try to turn it off and on again? Yes, we did. Hey, it looks like we might still have a few people on here. We had some technical difficulties trying to bring this thing on back. So if you are still around, I definitely appreciate it. I think we had 50 some people here, when we went down. I got to try to add everybody back in. So y'all give me just a second. I'm trying to add these guys back in, trying to answer the phone. I don't know what happened here. And let me see if I can get him to come on up here and add him in. Come on, camera. All right. It's not letting me add Eric right now. I see him. Eric,
Oh,
can you hear
no.
me? It
I'm
won't let me
here.
select your camera. Or it does, but then let me add Adam.
That's
Oh,
weird.
I'm twice.
Let me see if I can fix this while everybody is waiting. I'm trying to work on some technical difficulties, trying to get all this stuff lined back up. Y'all just give me a minute. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious.
That's
And,
fun.
we still got 26 people on here. You guys actually waited on me. I definitely appreciate it. So we'll get to your comments here in just a minute. We had 50 some people, and now I got to figure out how to get Eric
Hey,
over
Rodney,
here.
work on that. I'll answer someone's question. I
All
saw.
right.
I'm looking back up here somewhere. Someone asked, "Did I ever say how I was getting free energy?" And then things fell apart, and then I lost it. So it was in here somewhere. Sorry for not finding who it was. Um, so basically, at night, for those who don't know, I use a free nights plan in Texas. In most places in Texas, we can choose our own provider. I've lived here my whole life. I don't know what it's like other places, but we can choose our provider. And I chose Just Energy, and I'll actually drop a link in the chat here if
Score!
anyone's
Everybody's up.
interested. What?
I
Oh
said
yeah! Hey,
I
look at
got
that!
everybody back.
Yeah, you got everybody back up. Nice. So I'll drop a link in here where um, you can check and see if it's in your location. But you just basically sign up for a free nights plan, and then you charge your batteries at night. The inverters have all that tech built into them. I'm going to drop this in here, and I'm going to say the referral code is this. If you're interested, check it out. I think you get $75 off. I get $75 off, and everybody wins. And then you get to completely own the energy company. Yeah, just using some cool tech. It's nice.
Oh yeah. Yep, technology is good sometimes. As you can see, it just failed me. I don't know what happened. Like my Starlink said it was still working. I have no idea what happened. I don't know if it was YouTube, but it's like everything just froze, and I had to close it out and then restart it. And it did work on the Ecamm. I know you guys don't care nothing about Ecamm, but these guys do. Ecamm, I was able to just hit resume and it came back up. So that was pretty cool. So let's go look at some comments, I guess, since you guys are still here with us. I guess we'll go back here and see if anybody's got any questions, anything we missed, or if anything funny happened while I was trying to get the stream back up. I know they were saying that turn it off and on. That is what I did, and it worked. Oh,
They were all
man.
saying that your batteries died.
Yeah. Well, that would be pretty hard. That's all I'm saying. So I have the 12,000 XP running the whole building. I got 35 kilowatt hours of batteries, but then I have my whole live stream set up coming through like a solar generator. What is it? I think it's an Anchor, 1500, I think. And if the power goes out, that thing's still gonna have power. So it's like a UPS. So I definitely shouldn't be losing power with my setup. So that wasn't it. Whatever it was, I have no idea. The weather, I don't think it's bad. I think we have a little bit of wind, but usually that doesn't affect Starlink, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, Dimebag Coins was saying that it was Starlink, and I'm checking the down detector. It might have just been a local outage.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it was weird because I didn't see it. My stuff was still blue on my computer like it was fine. I didn't do a speed test at that moment, but definitely weird.
Starlink's showing
Technology.
a little uptick in outages, but I don't think it's anything. Just some possible problems. It seems pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I'm not seeing any comments or questions that we need to bring up right now. So, but if you guys got any, hey, go ahead and throw it up there.
Yeah, chat went wild there for a second. So
Yeah. Jose
if you
says,
got one,
Rodney Hunt, you are a tech whiz. Yeah, that's why everything went down. Oh
did he
man.
say that just before everything fell apart?
Yeah, that is funny. I'm just scrolling through the comments trying to see if we got anything else that I've missed. You know, because you, the community, I mean, you guys are what make this thing happen. That's why we're doing these streams. Of course, it's definitely not because of us three. I mean, we're all doing our own solar thing and everything, but you know, you guys, we want to help everybody out, and you guys definitely make it fun. That's why we're doing this.
So Rodney and Adam, are we trying to do this weekly? Is that the deal, or what's the frequency? Just so people kind of know what we're thinking.
Well, I would like to do it weekly. I wouldn't be able to once December starts, you know, because when I go back to
Mm-hmm.
work, this is my schedule. I could probably do it 2 out of 4 Thursdays a month, probably. But I mean, I say
We
we
could
could
do
try to do
that.
it every Thursday, and if y'all guys just want to do it, you guys and somebody else, that'd be fine too. On those days I'm gone, you know, I definitely like to do it a couple times a
Even
month.
yeah, even twice a month. I mean, I think
Yeah, I think twice a month is a
that
good
would work.
rhythm. Yep.
Because I mean, we're going to run out of topics here shortly if we keep going week by week. I mean, we'll just end up jumping on here and just looking to see what questions everybody else
Yeah,
has.
I
Hanging
mean, you
out.
could have a
Yeah.
live stream just with questions, and it would go pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Right now, we got 52 people on the live stream, so we want to say, hey, we appreciate you, especially with all the technical difficulties. Hey, that's pretty good, I think, with all the technical difficulties. And it looks like we finally have a question here, so let's go ahead and bring that up. Dead Money says, where's a good place to get wire?
What kind of
Oh,
wire?
yeah. It depends on if it's PV or you're talking about stuff at your local hardware store for your AC panel, power panel, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a lot of PV wire from either Signature Solar or Current Connected, but you know that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't shop around or anything really. So
I did shop around for a while, and Signature Solar still had great prices, and so I just ordered it all with the stuff. Just got it. I do a lot of like cutting by the foot at Home Depot or Lowe's, so I'll go
Mhm.
there and just say, "Look, I need 8 feet of this, 12 feet of that, or whatever it is." Um, so
you're freezing up a little bit.
yeah, like you don't have to buy. Dang,
At least
Rodney.
on my end. I don't think it's
Yeah.
me because I
So
see Adam. At
yeah,
least not this
Yeah,
time.
Starlink
yeah, I
strikes
think I'm
again.
freezing up on my end too. Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to get rid of Ecamm. So I'm just gonna switch to a different camera. You shouldn't have to do anything on your end. Cool. Just so I can close that application. All right.
Well, he's
Go ahead, Adam.
you got
Go ahead,
more,
Adam.
Eric.
No.
Well, I was just gonna say, from the DC side, whether that's like the battery cables or the PV lines. I mean, I've just ended up picking mine up off of Amazon. There's, Windy Nation. You've got
Yeah.
Temco. You can get those fairly cheap in whatever lengths you need if you want them with lugs or without lugs. You can still get them from Current Connected. You can still get them from Signature Solar. The AC line, I've done the same thing with Home Depot before. Gone and bought it by the foot. I've found on eBay, I think it's AC DC Direct. I've used them for a lot of my AC lines when I need long runs. And you contact them on their page, and they'll cut whatever size you need in whatever gauge you need, and then they'll make a custom listing for it, and you can buy it right from them there. And I found that it's fairly comparable, um, on that page for the AC line. One thing that I think, and I know that I tend to forget a lot about this. I don't know about you guys, but these large box stores have a remnant section, and they will sometimes sell pre-cut remnants that get returned or cut the wrong size for
Yeah.
very, very cheap.
Yeah, they're
I
usually
got a
hanging up in my
90
Yeah.
Lowe's next to everything else. It's kind of hanging over there.
Yeah. I
Mine
got a
charges full
95
price.
foot I got a
Yeah.
95-foot roll of 4 gauge for $60.
Man, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
no,
that's
mine
So
crazy.
pays they,
look at
they
the
charge
remnant
full
section.
price for the remnants. I'm like, I'm sitting there looking through it. I'm like, there's only 3 feet of this wire, and they're like, yep, full price.
That is funny. Looks like we got another. Well, Eric, I
But
don't
man,
know if
whenever
he's
we built our
froze.
house,
Okay, there.
5 days a week. Oh man, this is insufferable.
He keeps freezing.
Dang.
Oh
All
man,
right.
the tech. Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Eric. You can finish.
No.
You gave
Yeah, I
up.
was just gonna say, yeah. I gave up because it wasn't coming through. No, I was just saying that our Lowe's and Home Depot, they both charge full price for all that stuff, which is absolutely insane. But it used to be, man, you could walk through that center aisle, any special order return. I've got $400 windows in every spot in our house, and I paid less than $25 for probably any of them because you just go through and
Wow.
start haggling with the store manager and yeah, you just get it down. So I would go 3-4 nights a week, just walk that center aisle and see what was returned, and go from there. But I haven't done that in a long time, and yeah, just you can actually haggle with big box stores. Most people don't know that.
Yeah, I've did that before too with appliances, and it works. All right, we got
Mm-hmm.
another question here. Do any of you also forced to pay solar community and or clean energy additional to your electric bill? Well, I didn't do any permitting stuff with my stuff. My stuff's completely off grid. And so what I basically do is turn my grid power off and just backfeed my solar system into my house. So, I'm not doing my stuff by any kind of book. So I'm definitely not paying any extra fees or anything like that. Since I'm not selling back and I don't have a hybrid system. I don't know about these guys. I'm sure they probably paying something.
So I don't sell anything back either, because of the free nights plan. That works out so well for me. But what I do is I pay an extra $10 a month on top of my plan, which brings me from like $20 a month to $30 a month, just to use 100% renewable energy. I figured if I'm not using my solar panels, I might as well use somebody else's. And I know it's probably not as clean as they make me want to think it is, but yeah, I do that. I think right now they don't even give that option. It's just you just have to pay an extra 4 cents per kilowatt hour or something.
Adam, what about you?
No, mine's typically all off grid. Um, even the stuff that I do with testing the hybrid inverters, I try to route the power so that it really only will utilize the grid to pull from the grid. It doesn't do anything else with it. So it,
Yeah.
it just acts like another appliance.
Oh yeah. All right, we got another question here. What do you think about decentralizing your power systems, having multiple inverters around your house or business? Well, I kind of have that set up just from all this testing I do. So I have this building here. It's running off either right now. It's running off the 12,000 XP, but I have the 12,000 XP over here, and then the 12K I've also ran it off of that. But then I have three 6,000 XPs running my house, and they're totally separate systems. I definitely like having separate systems, especially if you have an EV. That way, you're not pulling your whole house down from your car if you're charging it or something, or if you're running some really big load. And if one thing breaks, you have something else to work off of. So I definitely like it myself if you can afford it. But a lot of people can't afford to put up multiple systems of this size. So just depends on what you want to do. But I definitely like it. Eric, Adam.
Honestly, I was reading comments and I
Okay.
missed the question.
Okay. What do you think about decentralizing your power system and having multiple inverters around your house or business?
Man, I love two is one is none. My wife actually used that on me to get another dog today, so there's that. She literally she's like, "You always say two is one and one is
Yeah.
none." I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good point."
Gotcha.
Um, yeah. So now we've got an extra
That's funny.
large dog, but anyway, it's fun and she's sweet. But yeah, I think just anytime you can spread out the centralization and decentralize things, it's a good thing unless it's just causing problems, right? I mean, if you can do it and it still all works out well, that's great. But you doing, yeah, just doing it just for the sake of having 400, little inverters that are giving you 250 watts each, that doesn't make sense, right? So you got to do what makes sense within reason.
Whoop. I accidentally added that. I wasn't ready for that. Go ahead, Adam.
No.
Well, I was gonna say, you I love the two is one is none aspect. But like Eric said, you have to do what makes sense because you when you start adding additional systems, now you have to look at multiples of everything. So now you're splitting your battery banks, you're splitting your inverters, you're splitting your solar arrays. And so while it's great to be able to isolate certain systems you want to take account, you now have to wire a lot more. You now have to um, have storage for potentially more. I mean, if you've got an outbuilding, even like because like these guys, like I've got a separate system on my barn. It's a whole lot easier to make that its own system if you don't have power out there anyways.
Yeah.
But you gotta look at all different aspects. Yes, you can get smaller systems because you don't
Yeah.
need you know a large system for each install unless you need that much power. But
Hmm.
you just got to look at all the variables.
I say
Yep.
one place where it makes a lot of sense is when you can have multiple arrays and you can have them with different solar aspects and pointing different directions, or maybe your yard isn't big enough to have all that you can use in one spot, but being able to break it up into multiple MPPTs, that really helps out a lot, right? It makes it so much more flexible.
Oh yeah.
Not really the
Hey,
same thing, but it's similar.
and everybody in the stream, hey, we definitely appreciate you being here. We got 49 people right now in the stream, and we're trying to get through all the
Yeah.
questions. I am still way far behind, but we're gonna keep on going with the questions unless these guys gotta go. If these guys are still good, just let me know. If not, we'll go ahead and drop off. But Dimebag Coin says, "What is the PV wire that they provide with the Renogy panel I got? Sure seems like aluminum. Ah, I'm not sure. A lot of times they're not going to
Sometimes
provide the
it's
best wire."
sometimes it's what is it? Is it tin coated copper? So when you look at the ends, it's got that silver look to it, but it's actually copper underneath.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not absolutely sure. I'm just going through the comments for anybody that's wondering why I'm not talking right this second. I'm trying to find another question. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see here. All right, here we go. All right, George. Hey, welcome to the stream, guys. What is the difference between the 12K PV and the XP? Thank you. Well, one of the biggest things is the 12K is going to be a hybrid inverter. It's going to be fully enclosed, so you can put it on the outside. It's basically, element proof or whatever. So you better put it outside in the rain, wind, dust, and it's still going to work. The 12,000 XP is a off grid only, and it's indoor only. So 12K, you'll be able to sell back to the grid, do a lot of the functions with the electric company, getting the permits and selling back, making money and all that, or at least equalizing your bill if you want to. 12,000 XP, you're not able to do that. It's just off grid only. So it's a couple of differences. And plus, if you want to talk about the actual spec differences, the 12,000 XP will take in a whole lot of solar with that 35 amp MPPT compared to the 12Ks and basically all the other inverters that EG4 has. So, what do you guys think?
Well, yeah, one big thing though is they don't both put out 12,000 watts of
Yeah,
power. The
8,000. Yep.
12K PV is only going to give you 8,000, which is I'm backwards over here. It's a step between the 6,000 and the 12,000, right? So they got a little squirrely in their naming convention and confused everybody. So
Yes.
12K PV only gives you 8,000 watts of power. The 12X 12,000 XP gives you 12,000 watts of power. Golly, that's
See, and here's the thing:
I
we
probably
get
just made it more
confused.
Go ahead, Adam.
Are we freezing again, Rodney?
I
Uh-oh.
still see you, but I don't know. Am I?
y'all are all frozen on my end.
Oh my goodness! Can you hear me?
I'm watching the little spinner over your shoulder to see if it freezes.
Get with it, Elon. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully the stream is still going. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anybody say they can't see
Yeah.
us yet, so I think it's still
It's
going.
coming back here.
All right, let's.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm just gonna pull up another question, then we'll roll with it, see what happens. What did it say? I love 2 is 1. I'm not sure what they're talking about. It's probably from a long time ago.
That's
Yeah,
Eric.
no, yeah. I said I love 2 is 1, and I didn't finish 2 is 1, 1 is none. Like I love the concept of, having redundancy. 2 is 1, 1 is none, 3 is for me. Did the stream just freeze? I think it did. Oh no.
Oh no, you're still. I still see you.
Okay, it's frozen on my end. I think if
Okay,
I move
yeah.
around too much, it gets excited and stops
Yeah.
showing me
I
stuff.
can still hear you though.
All right. Yeah. There was a question just above that.
Oh, whoop! I just clicked on one. Is that
Let's
it?
see.
Are you guys testing the Flex
Nope.
Boss? Nope.
No, it was about air conditioning. Where was it?
Oh, wait a minute. That one. Nope, that ain't a question.
Nope, didn't see that one.
Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna go to this one because I can't find another one. Are you guys testing the Flex? Go ahead.
It was how do you power whole house air conditioning, or an alternative for that or for it.
Let's see if I can find it.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, I found it. Yep, I went right over that one. How do you power whole house air conditioning or an alternative for it? So I just use the 6,000 XPs. That's what I'm using. Basically, I'm just powering my whole house. So that's how I would do it. It just depends on how much power you're pulling with your house. And you can just get an off-grid inverter, the right size, enough batteries, and enough solar panels. I know that kind of sounds simple, but I mean, that's just all there is to it. If you want to run an air conditioner, you just have to make sure your loads, whatever they are, you're going to have to test all that out and get the right size inverter to run it. So that's the big thing, is just having the right size inverter to run it, in my opinion.
Yep. I used to have all window units, and I'm slowly swapping them out for the mini splits, which are way more efficient, but then also being able to add solar panels to the mini splits makes a big difference as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a...
Then it goes out.
That's right.
Sorry.
Oh, well, man.
I was trying to figure out if you were just taking a really long drink of water.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was just...
All right. We had 62 people on the stream when it went out. Now we're down to 16. So if we're unfroze again, we should be working. Hopefully people can see us. Go ahead. We're coming back. We're back on here. Come on, people. Come on back. So I guess what we'll do is just start back with those questions again, and unless y'all want to end it here because it keeps freezing. That's up to y'all.
As long as your internet keeps working.
Yeah. Hey, apparently I can't make any promises with that. I don't know what's going on, man. That's just how it is sometimes. It just doesn't want to work. Let me scroll back up and try to find questions that we missed.
Oh, Adam, can you complete your answer? Last thing we heard was you had a 5K unit, and then Rodney took a drink and ruined everything.
So, I don't even remember what I was. Air conditioner. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so some outdoor air conditioner units and even some window ones have a high surge startup to where when you try to turn those things on, the inverters hate them and they just overload the inverter. It's only a split second. It's called lock rotor amps, if anybody wants to know the technical term. But you can actually look on the nameplate of the air conditioner and it'll say LRA and it'll give you a number of how many amps it pulls on startup. And there's devices called soft starts that you can add onto your outdoor unit. And it's really, it's 4 wires, I think. I did a video on installing one on my air conditioner, and it went from 80 amps down to 20 some amps on startup. My Victron inverters without the soft start, they could start it. They did not like it, but they could start it. You know, your inverter starts making that weird noise, and you're just waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah.
My EG4 6500s did not like it at all. And I can't remember if I tested it on the 6000 XP or not after I did the soft start. But
So, not to interrupt you, but I think I figured out what was going on with my internet. The thing wants to do an update. Are you kidding me?
ooh,
Like, why not wait till the middle of the night? Elon Musk, I got Starlink internet, and it's saying ready to update. Oh, that's why you keep going out. You want me to look at you so I can update you, man? Come on.
It was downloading 500 gigs worth of new firmware or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
So it's downloaded. So it downloaded it by itself, and now it's downloaded into the thing, and now it wants me to like turn it off, I guess, and update it. I'm like, man, no wonder the stuff. So hopefully it won't happen again. Oh
Yeah,
my! All right, we'll go ahead and start pulling up some more questions, I guess. Not unless you guys got something else. Do any of y'all expect lithium prices to rise with the tariffs expected? That's from Donnie Thompson. I mean, it may go up a little bit, but I think it was more of the solar panels, wasn't it?
I think it was anything, wasn't it?
I've heard
Was it?
I've heard
I've
so
heard both
much.
things, but I
Yeah.
didn't read
I'll
all of it,
believe
so I
it
don't
when
know.
I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
until it
exactly.
happened, we don't really know.
And it's only it's a percentage of it. It's not, even if it's a 20%, it's not, your price isn't going to go up 20%. It's some kind of weird calculation they do. I had read it, but I forgot all about it, so I'm not exactly sure. But
Yeah, but Trump is real big on, like, if you're going to, tariff the mess out of us, we'll do it back at you and double it, right? We can play that game. But if they aren't going to do it to us, then I think he'll remove them. So I think there's a fair chance. It just kind of depends on what kind of deal he gets.
Mm-hmm.
yep, I guess that's a wait and see type of thing right there. We'll wait and find out.
Yeah.
I know
Real
somebody
quick
was
on
asking.
the.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead, Adam. No, you go for it.
Well, I was just going to say, I know before the last time Rodney took a drink, somebody was asking if we were doing any Flex Boss or Grid Boss testing, and I know that I don't have any of that gear. I don't know if you guys have anything coming that you can speak about.
No.
No. No,
I'm
I
sure
don't plan to
if
at
I
this
bought it,
point.
they'd probably give me one.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like I'm about to buy one of the 12Ks to work on that, but the Flex Boss and Grid Boss, all that gear is so much more expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm going to get a return on investment on those reviews anytime soon. So, yeah, it's not quite.
I would like to get that to test, but like you said, can't do it right now. That's for sure.
Oh, I'd love to test it all, but it all comes down to really the fact that Stuff's expensive, and when you buy it to make a video,
Yeah,
um, it's hard sometimes,
absolutely.
Well, that plus
especially
two
when
weeks of
you're
filming
our
and
size
6 months of
channels.
editing.
Yeah, if you had like a
Yeah.
100,000 million subscribers or something like that, maybe. All right, David said, can you use a different, I guess, size and type of batteries with the 12,000 XP? So you mean can you use like a 280 amp hour Power Pro and then a server rack with it? I mean, yeah, you can do that. I don't know if you're talking about what you're talking about with different sizes. If you just mean the amp hours or you mean different brands. I use mix and match stuff because I'm doing testing all the time, so I do. But it's not always going to work, for everybody. I would say try to get them all the same if you're just doing it not for testing, but actually use it for your house. So
It does seem to simplify things if you can have them all the same.
yeah,
Um, because when you start mixing and matching things, can it work? Sure. Um, can you have gremlins because you're mixing and matching? You better believe it.
yeah. Eric, okay, I
Yeah,
was making
I
sure he
don't
wasn't
know.
froze.
Yeah, no, I was I was sitting still reading something. Um, yeah, I have no real good input on that.
All right, let's
Next
see.
thing up.
Do the EG solar batteries communicate with the EG stuff? Yeah, I mean EG4 stuff communicates with EG4 stuff, and it's usually pretty simple, especially with the CAN communication now. Just plug it up, bam. I don't set anything, do anything, it just works. So I definitely like the new stuff.
Is EG Solar? Because he's got it in quotes. I'm wondering, is that a different brand?
Oh, I thought it just meant EG4,
Yeah.
yeah, but if it's a different brand, I don't know. I don't know if that's a different brand, but I was just guessing it meant EG4 solar or something. But
Hmm.
let us know, Brian, if you're talking about a different brand, and eventually we'll get down to that comment. What do you guys do for internet providers? Like we said, I got Starlink. Eric's got Starlink. Adam, I'm not sure.
You got Fiber Direct, right?
Spec. Yeah, no, not in the boonies where I live. No, I'm of Spectrum.
Yeah, so I have fiber optic at my house, and it wasn't great because it was limited. It was put out by the electric company, and it was limited at the time to like 100 megabytes or whatever, and it was always way slower than that. And then when we had hurricanes and stuff and the power went out, we didn't have the internet, so I was like, I'm getting Starlink. And so I got it when it came out. And now fiber optic, they're actually offering the speeds that fiber should have. So they're offering like, 1,000 megabytes, 500 and 250. And it's cheaper than it was when I had it. So I may go back to it just for my business aspect with YouTube and be able to do these live streams and don't have to worry with the Starlink. As you see, sometimes you have problems. Most of the time it's fine. I definitely like it because it'll work when the power's out because I have my own power. So that was the one reason I
Mhm.
got Starlink, and so I won't get rid of it.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. We've got fiber that's being put down our road right now. I mean, I'm a third of a mile off the road down a dirt driveway, so I don't know that they'll actually get it to me. But um, I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of Starlink, and even just the Mini. So I've got the Starlink above me right here, and then I've also got the Mini that I take with me on vacations and stuff. We just went camping last weekend, and being able to take that thing, just throw it in the dash of your vehicle, and it works okay while you're driving. But I do actually have a review that's going to be coming out pretty soon on different roof mounts and stuff like that. So if anybody's interested in that sort of thing, be sure to check out the channel, subscribe, and we'll go from there. But yeah, man, it's incredible. The technology has come so far just in a couple of years.
Yeah, and a lot of times my stuff with Starlink, the download is like 260 or something, and then at night when everybody gets off of work, it may go down to 100. And so usually it's still, I mean, that's still fine, for what I need. But sometimes the upload speed is not great. So compared to the download, at the best I might get 20 some upload, and sometimes it's down to 10 or 11 upload. So that's where you have problems with streaming is the upload.